Hi, this is Karen, and this is the card we're making today. Everybody, all the demonstrators, as far as I'm aware, have been demonstrating this Magnolia, Good Morning Magnolia stamp set. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I just had to get on the bandwagon, I guess. I bought the paper pack, the stamps, the dies, and the ribbon pack. I just love it. I'm not normally one for flowers, but Magnolias just look stunning. Even though in the stamp set they use Mossy Meadow, as you'll all be aware, Mossy Meadow is not my favourite green, so I went for Pear Pizzazz instead to give it a faded look. I know the Magnolias normally have a really dark glossy green leaf, and it makes the paleness of the flower just bounce out, but I really couldn't bring myself to do it. I've got a little bit of Mossy Meadow on here, but not too much. And I don't know whether it's picking it up in the video or not, but once again I'm colouring on the shimmery white cardstock with my Wink of Stella pen. I love the look, I love the watercoloured look, but I also love the shimmeriness of the paper once you've used the Wink of Stella. As I said, I'm using shimmery white cardstock because it doesn't pill the way Whisper White does when you've got a little bit of water or liquid added to it. It just looks really nice, and yeah, I'm really pleased with the way this card turned out. As you will notice, it's actually a cutaway card. It does stand up the way a tent fold should, because I'm using the Magnolia to do that. I've got a bit of the Magnolia Lane paper underneath, and just one of the sentiments from the Magnolia suite. I really like this card. I hope you do too. So enough of my waffling, let's get on. I'll just set it over there so I can see it for reference. Now, all of the sizings will be found on my website. I'm actually using my stamp positioner because I want to make sure that I get a really good impression with the stamp. So I'm just going to put the cardstock down. Now, I did move the stamp over to my largest block so that I could clean it, because I just find it too awkward to clean on the stamp positioner. So I'm just going to stamp it over here because I need a little bit of cardstock. I don't know whether you can tell, but I actually die cut the Thinking of You with one of the other dies from the set, so it's like a smaller version of the Magnolia in the background there, and that's what I've done the stamping for the sentiment on. So I need a little bit of area just up there so that I can do that again. So I'm just going to pop my magnets down, and I gave a double stamping. Make sure I've got it the right way up. Yes, I have. I gave it a double stamping the first time to make it sure I got a nice crisp image. Because I'm watercolouring, I'm using the StazOn ink. StazOn doesn't smear when you watercolour, whereas if you don't let the memento thoroughly dry, it will smear and even run if you use watercolours with it. So I'm giving this the breath of life, and I will give it another stamping. As you can see, I'm just patting all over this, and then another really good rub all over, and it's still not enough in the middle there, so we'll do a bit more in the middle. And there, that's much better. It's still, I don't know whether it's my eyes are really not good. I might give it one more coat I've got my reading glasses on, but I'm still not quite convinced that that's a really good impression, but it will have to suffice, unfortunately. So I'll pop my stamp positioner down for now. So bring in the die. Now the new dies are really good in that you bring them right to the edge of the image. And I'm using some tape to hold them in place. But as you can see, that is lined up exactly with the image, and it will give me the same border the whole way around. Okay, it's moved. Okay, I will be back in a moment. Perfectly cut image, and I don't know if you can see, I'm going to bring in some dark paper for contrast, and you will see the edge is a perfect cut the whole way around. Absolutely fantastic, these new dies. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my petal pink and a stamp block and put some petal pink just on the edge there. Okay, move that out the way, clean off my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to come in with the, oh sorry, it's Old Olive, not Pear Pizzazz. And then all I did for the branch, I was really slack. I didn't get up and grab my soft suede or anything from the rack behind me. I just grabbed a texter and just coloured in that area and just the centre like so, and that's it. That is the Magnolia coloured. Just clean off my block with a wet wipe. Okay, now the rest of the card comes together fairly simply after that. We'll pop that aside to dry. Here's the card base, and I don't know whether you can tell, but it's really mucky just in the corner there. I don't know what's happened. It's gotten jammed somehow, but that's okay because I'm going to trim this an inch from the bottom. So we've got the card base, which as you can see was a half of an A4, and all I've done is scored it in half and folded it in half. So it's actually 4 inches, 4 1/8. There we go. Otherwise all of my other measurements will be out. Okay, just make sure 5 3/4, that's fine. So we've got this piece of card DSP, which has been cut 2.5, I think, no, 3 inches by 5 3/4. If you're working in US sizes, just make this piece 5 1/2 to match the half of cardstock that you've used for the base, and the same with these 2 pieces. Now, because this one is really easy to do, I'm just going to pop some double-sided tape. I do have my snail somewhere, but my daughter used it the other day for a school project and it's gone missing, and I only have one. I only have one and it's gone missing. I know hubby almost threw it out, and I said, no, don't do that, and I don't know where he put it. So between the 2 of them, they've lost it on me. Okay. So I'm going to pop that down, and I'm just going to smooth that over with my bone folder, and then just trim both edges to make it fit completely, like that. Beautifully neat. Okay, I'm going to, while I've got this open, I'm going to stamp the sentiment on the inside. See if I can get it more central than the last time. There we go. The journey of life is best shared with a friend. We'll get through this together. Now, while we've got this open, I'm going to bring this piece in, and I'm just going to pop some double-sided tape across the top of it, and then some double-sided tape just over 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, and take both pieces of backing off. Now, the reason I've left the card open is my old olive is quite juicy, and I didn't want to end up with a sentiment mirrored on the top here. Now, I'm going to bring this down. I've got to do it this way around. I'm cack-handed. And I'm going to bring it so that we've got about 1/8 of an inch the whole way across, like that, and just press it down. Right. We'll give it a run over with the bone folder to make sure it's really well adhered, and that way as well. And then back in with the scissors and just trim that side off. And that side off. Beautiful. Okay, so that's nicely trimmed. That's nice and dry now, so we can flip this over, and I'm going to put double-sided tape on all 4 edges. Okay, now I've got the pieces on all 4 sides of the DSP. I'm just going to peel off the 2 end pieces, and then I did have a piece of the natural ribbon that came in the Magnolia Lane ribbon combo pack. It's edged in Whisper White, but it's not crumb cake. Sahara Sand, maybe? I'm not quite sure. It doesn't actually say what colour it is. So I'm just going to pop some on that end, bring it round, keep it the approximate distance from the bottom edge on that end. There we go. Now, I'm going to peel all of the backings off now on both the card and the DSP. I will be back after I've fast forwarded through this part. Okay, we're ready to affix this piece to this piece. So very carefully lining it up with the fold, like so. And I've just realised it's a smidge too long this end. So if I pull it up, take that piece off for a moment, and I'm just going to trim very carefully with my long scissors up this edge. So I need it just past the brown stripe, which I do believe is early espresso. Now I'm going to bring this back over. Perfect. Have to make sure next time I do something like this I measure that card really well. Okay, I'm going to give it a really good press down to make sure it's well adhered, and that is. Okay, almost finished now. I'm going to bring this piece back in though and take off that piece of washi for a moment. I'm going to have to flip it because I've actually torn that. So we'll flip it over and I'm going to stamp the sentiment for the outside, which is thinking of you, just here. There we go. I'll let that dry off for a moment. While that's set aside to dry, I'm going to bring in my Magnolia and I'm going to pop it on the front here with some dimensionals. I put things down and then I lay things on top and I can never find them again. Okay, we're in here with the dimensionals and all I'm going to do is lift one up and press it against my paper snips so that I can take the backing off. Bring it over, lift the Magnolia up and press the Magnolia down on top of the dimensional, and just repeat that all the way through. So press the dimensional down onto my paper snips, lift that up, bring it over and press it down again. And that one isn't even visible on the back. You've got to be aware that you can't see it from the back. And that's more than enough to keep your Magnolia in place. Now I'm going to come in with the other die and pop that down. I'll be back in a moment. We now have our sentiment cut out of another Magnolia, which I think is really sweet. It echoes the flower in the background. Okay, in with some more tape. And then I'm just going to slip it underneath the ribbon slightly. Make sure the whole word is visible. And then in with my Share What You Love Artisan Pearls. I really love these because there's a few really nice shades, and I'm going to use the very pale pink, which I think might be petal pink, but who knows. And one more with the glue coming off the back. No, that one's done and dusted. Okay, and just one more there. And that is our card finished. So there's the sample and there's the card I've done for you today. As you can see, it really is a beautiful card. I don't even mind the green. I hope you'll agree that it's a really pretty card and that you'll give it a go yourselves. Okay, that's enough from me for today. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.